In this video, I'll be testing out a new finishing method called the frostbite finish, which involves CNC milling 925 genuine sterling silver and applying various hand finishing steps to complete a custom dial. Towards the end, I'll also be trying out some new cases for fun, and I'll also share my thoughts on those as well. First, I had to mill out the sterling silver dial, which is the exact same process as I showed in my openwork ghost video, so I'll just skip over those steps for now. And off the CNC, the sterling silver openwork dial needs a lot of hand finishing before it can be installed onto a movement. You can still see the facing toolpads and burrs throughout the edges, so those need to be removed, in addition to the tabs around its circumference. These tabs are left on purpose while machining to prevent the part from potentially flying off during the final operations. I need to get close up with a loupe to see what I'm doing, so excuse my big head on screen. And I'm wearing gloves because the oils from my hands could potentially oxidize the sterling silver dial during the hand finishing steps. I made these custom fixtures on my lathe, which serve to work hold thin parts such as dials and bezel inserts. They serve many purposes, but in this case, it's to help hold the dial evenly flat while I work on finishing its surface. Now I need to get the burrs off the inner edges because while finishing the dial underside, it creates a continuous burr on the opposite face. Here's what the burr looks like. Sometimes it can just chip off like this with a little work, but most of the time it needs to be thoroughly filed off. I'm being really careful not to round off any edges or corners because my overall concept of the openwork dial is to be a sharp design. Once the edges are cleaned up, I proceed onto the main face, as you can see here after some initial finishing. Looking good, but still not quite there. A semi-mirror finish is achieved, which is what I was aiming for. A pure mirror polish wasn't necessary because I just needed a clean, even base to work with for the final surface finish. And here it is. After some chemical processes, I finished the surface to a almost distressed look. I'm calling this the frostbite finish due to its hints of blue and purple present on the sterling silver. Now at some point the dowel goes back onto the CNC to mill out an area for dowel feeds. I didn't do this earlier because I wasn't sure if the test dowel would end up on a watch, but I was pretty happy with the way that it turned out, so it got the full feed treatment. The assembly is pretty much the same as my other custom builds, but for the case, I wasn't too sure which one I wanted to use. Of course, if anyone orders the openwork with this frostbite dowel finish, the watch will come with its originally designed case. But since I just wanted to test out a new finishing method, I thought why not also test out some new cases for fun. One of which being this highly requested Royal Oak style case. Now I'm trying out this case purely for educational purposes because I wanted to show how it's like compared to a real Royal Oak. This is not an authentic Royal Oak or case parts. Again, I'm just showing this for educational purposes because so many of you guys asked for a comparison. Obviously the design is pretty much the Royal Oak, but the finishing is far from one. The case and bracelet brushing isn't even, like you can see some vertical brush lines are slightly deeper than others. The easiest way to tell is when you run your finger across horizontally, you can feel the roughness of the uneven lapping. Even vertically, you can feel the roughness of the many sharp edges found on the case and bracelet. The inner edges on each individual link is quite sharp, a bit less on the underside, but still very much there when you put it on wrist. The clasp feels crunchy when you open and close it. The two mating links don't seat flat so you can feel a sharp step. Just overall, how I feel is, it looks fine and that's about it. The Royal Oak with all of its edges and many straight lines is a design that just can't feel comfortable without being finished thoroughly. Too many edges and contacting surfaces to finish on a budget, which I assume these factories are limited in. So that was fun to learn about, and I'm not purposely trying to bash this case. Putting aside thoughts about homages and copies like this, any case that feels uncomfortable isn't going to get a favorable overview. Again, it looks cool, but objectively speaking, it's just not comfortable to wear. Now I'm going to take my openworked internals and put them into a new 36mm case, one that is comfortable to wear. This is also not a case shape that is typically offered with my openwork design, but if you'd like to commission a version like this, please do send me an email or fill out an order form on my website, loom-shot.com. I like this case a lot for its clean look, comfortable size, and ability to accentuate any dial inside of it. This is the type of case that I'll gravitate towards for an everyday watch. It's sort of the go-to style for many major and micro brands, so the design really depends on what's being shown inside of the case. I am in the process of designing and testing a dress watch for my Yoon Watches brand, so this is sort of a field test for this case. I'll be wearing this for a few weeks. Anyways, thanks for watching. I just wanted to test and show this new frostbite finish. I was going to do it anyways, so I thought why not film the process as well. Thank you all for your continued support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.